Hi, this is Dr. Patrick Cohn with the Mental Game Coaching Professional Program at mentalgamecoachingpro.com. In this short video, I'm going to talk about doing AMAP assessments and specifically how to drill down and ask the right questions. This video is a preview of my new program called the AMAP Assessment System, due out shortly. And here's the model I use for doing AMAP assessments, in which I share with all the students in the MGCP program, but now I'm going to offer this specific program just doing AMAP assessments to people outside of the program. We provide the AMAP to the student, and then after we get the AMAP back, we take a look at that and complete what's called an AMAP summary, which is the key areas that we find in the AMAP or the key themes. From there, we set up the first session and we do what's called the discovery session. Some people might refer to that as an interview session. And then based upon that information, we're able to set up the mental coaching plan for the student. Now, some of the questions that I get in the MGCP program is, well, how do you drill down and ask follow-up questions on pertinent details in the AMAP, and how much time should you spend on a particular topic? So I selected one response from one of our AMAPs. This happens to be a high school level or a club swimmer, about 16 years old. And her particular AMAP was kind of broad in nature, and it left a lot for interpretation. And so that's when you have the student in the office, you want to be able to drill down and obtain more information from that student. So I picked out one line or one response on her AMAP. She said, I focus too much on the outcome of a race and exactly how a race should be swam. So I'm going to particularly pay attention to this first part right here and talk a little bit about how to drill down on that. So the first part is simply to reflect it back to the student, where she says focus too much on the outcome of a race. You might say, well, what do you mean by outcome of a race? Or can you tell me more about the outcome of the race? Or I'm not sure what you mean when you say outcome of a race. And that prompts the student obviously to talk about more what she refers to as the outcome of the race, because we really don't know. We can guess that maybe it's about her times, or maybe it's about what her coach is going to think, or maybe it's about her practice times versus her meet times. We just don't know until we ask. And that's really the objective of drilling down to gain more information. The other way that you can do is use a leading question. Once again, we're going to focus on that same phrase, that she focuses too much on the outcome of a race. When you say outcome of a race, do you mean the time that you will bring in, where you will finish in the race, or how others will react to the time that you bring in? So this will allow us to gain more information, and obviously she'll agree, she'll shoot down one or two, or she'll agree with one or two of these, and then that's a leading question, is you're letting the student know what's on your mind. And so what's the objective of this? Well, obviously, it's to gain more details from the student when you sit down and you review the AMAP with your student, but it's also to help the athlete understand the concepts that you're talking about. In this particular case, it's about focusing on the outcome and why that's detrimental. So you might want to talk a little bit about, what's caught her attention. Why is she so focused on the outcome of the race? It also improves the communication process, where you're developing rapport with your athlete in this case. And then also it allows your athlete to know that you understand what they're talking about. And that's obviously part of the communication process, you being able to reflect, and paraphrase and summarize what your athlete is saying. All this I teach in the MGCP program, but I'm also offering this particular program, the AMAP assessment system, for people outside of the MGCP certification program. And this is the very first time that I've done this in about 15 years. So like I said, if you want to learn more about the AMAP assessment system, please click on the image here in the video and you'll be taken to a page where you can learn more information about it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.